Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. If you're new here, my name is Mandy. In these videos, I like to share with you what I make for my family of 4. I hope you guys enjoy. Our first meal is Keto Food Court Bourbon Chicken. You guys, this meal was so good. I'm probably going to be adding this on our meal plan in the next few weeks because it was that delicious. These are all the ingredients that you're going to need. I will link the recipe down in the description. I found this recipe through Instagram. I started following Chef Michael, that is his Instagram handle, and he was actually on MasterChef. I think it was the 10th season. And Chef Michael has lost over 80 pounds following the keto diet. And he is like a jack of all trades. He actually is an architect and designs and builds homes, and he has a real estate company, and now he is pursuing his food dreams, which I think is amazing. So what I'm doing right now is just preparing my marinade. In a bowl, you're going to mix together the sweetener, ketchup, soy sauce, water, bourbon if you're using the bourbon, you don't have to, and the spices. So once I have all of the ingredients in the bowl, I get super fancy and I just mix it up with my measuring spoon there. But I was in a hurry because we were actually getting ready to do a Zoom meeting for Amelia. So I just used the measuring spoon. And then I put in all the chicken and I just mix it up with my hand. My hands were clean. I washed them really good afterwards and I just mixed them up really good. I put that marinade chicken and the marinade in the refrigerator until later that evening. And there I was making some rice in the Instant Pot for Jason and the girls. So the recipe called for avocado oil, but I was using olive oil in the pan. And you just want to spread your chicken out into an even layer and let it simmer. Once all of that liquid has mostly evaporated, you're then going to start tossing the chicken in the pan until it's nicely browned. And this probably took about 10 minutes. You'll know when it's done whenever the edges start getting crispy and most of the sauce is gone. Like I said earlier, this chicken was absolutely delicious. In the recipe, the note said if you use chicken breast, it will taste differently from using chicken thighs. So I did want to use chicken thighs for this and prepare it exactly the way the recipe said to. Like I said earlier, I'll share the link down in the description. I also wanted to mention that Chef Michael has a cookbook out. It's called New Keto Cooking. I want this cookbook so bad, but I'm not going to get it just yet, but I really, really want it. So our next meal is another recipe by Chef Michael. It is blackened salmon with Cajun garlic butter. And if you guys have been around, you know that I like some seafood. I'm not a huge salmon eater, but oh my goodness, this was another delicious meal. My husband absolutely loved it. The kids did not eat it. They don't like salmon. They don't like seafood, so they didn't have any of it, but it was so good. So the first thing I'm going to do is warm up a cast iron skillet on high heat with some avocado oil, which I'm actually using olive oil. And then I'm going to start mixing together the blackened seasoning mix. I will link this recipe down in the description as well. You can find it on Chef Michael's website. And again, I'm getting really fancy and just mixing those spices up with my measuring spoon. Now I'm going to chop up some fresh garlic and put that to the side. You'll need that a little bit later. For this recipe, you want to use skinless salmon patties, and these I bought from Walmart. They're individually wrapped, which I really like. That way, if you only want 1 or 2 pieces, you don't have to try to break apart these pieces and thaw them out. So that was really nice. I'll definitely remember that and add these to my Walmart list again. So I'm just adding some sea salt to the salmon, and then I'm going to heavily coat the salmon with that blackened seasoning mix. I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not. We live on a lake, and there are a few people that have seaplanes that likes to fly in and land on the lake, and they are super, super loud. So if you do hear that in the background, I do apologize for that. As you can see, my pan is now smoking hot, so I'm just going to place my salmon into the pan and sear it for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And you will see here in just a second, I really need to invest in a fish turner because these tongs were not doing the job. Now that the salmon has seared on both sides, I'm going to take the salmon out of the pan and just set it to the side on a plate. And I'm going to empty out the oil, which there really wasn't a whole lot of oil left in the pan, but there are some little bits of salmon, so I'm just scraping those out and getting those out. And I'm going to turn the heat down to medium-low, and I'm putting in my 2 sticks of butter, chopped garlic, and Cajun seasoning, and then I'm just going to stir that until the butter's melted. I feel like that clip being sped up was just so satisfying, watching the butter melt. Now I'm adding the salmon back into that butter mixture, and I'm just spooning it on top of the salmon and let it cook about 5 more minutes, and then I will plate it all up. On this particular night, we were actually supposed to have meatloaf. I think this was on a Sunday, but I just was not feeling meatloaf, and I don't think anybody else really wanted it either. So I decided to do a big platter of nachos. So I just had some tortilla chips, some con queso, green onions, cilantro, black olives. So I'm just using my taco seasoning mix that I always make myself, and I'll link that recipe down in the description. So after I made the taco meat, I then added in a can of tomatoes with green chilies, and then I just simply used a platter and put out some tortilla chips. I spooned the taco meat and tomato mixture on top, and then I spooned some of the con queso cheese and then some regular shredded cheese and put all the toppings on top, and it was absolutely delicious. I had a couple of the tortilla chips and they were super salty. I don't know if whoever made this bag of tortilla chips was just really salt happy, but they were really, really salty. As soon as Jason took a bite, he was like, "Oh my goodness, how much salt did you add to the meat?" And I was like, "None." It was the chips. They were so salty. We joked around and said we can feel our blood pressure rising, but it turned out really good, and it was a quick meal. The kids really enjoyed it, so it was more like a snack to them. They thought it was pretty cool having a meal like this because it was, chips. whenever I slice olives, I always use my egg slicer from Pampered Chef. I just put 2 olives in it and then slice them. And it makes it so easy slicing these. You don't have to get a knife out or a cutting board. You just have this one little thing and voila, you slice it. I also use it on strawberries to slice up strawberries. This concludes this week's What's for Dinner. I hope you guys will check out Chef Michael's recipes that I have linked down in the description. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you think someone else would enjoy watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.